In this video, we'll set up a two-wheel chaos vehicle, a sport bike, from scratch. We will make it stable, get it leaning properly through corners like a real sport bike, and dial in the suspension so it actually feels right. If that's what you're looking for, let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, it's Human here. I created a blank project and a basic level in Unreal Engine. Since we're gonna use Chaos Vehicle, make sure to enable the plugin and restart the engine. I have my FBX file here. Also, inside the project, I have created a meshes folder and a sport bike folder inside it. Let's drop it into a sport bike folder and click on import. Let's check out the skeletal mesh. As you can see, this is our bone hierarchy. In the previous part, we prepared and exported a sport bike in Blender. If you want to know how I did it, you can click on the card in the top right corner of your screen. Phys wheel F is grayed out because no mesh is bound to it, and that's what we want. Click on the bones and make sure the scale for all of them is set to 1. If you're seeing 100 or any other number, it means you didn't export it properly in Blender. Alright, next let's open up the physics asset. Before doing anything here, let's generate the bodies for all bones with sphere primitive type, because we need sphere for the wheels. Okay, we only want to keep the root and physic wheels, so you can delete the rest. You can check show primitives. Now we can see the shapes for each body. I'm gonna go to left view. The rear wheel shape seems to be okay. It has the radius same as our wheel. From body setup, expand primitives and make sure the sphere is in the center. Okay, for the front wheel, the shape exists, but it's very small. Let's increase the scale and make it equal to our front wheel. Alright, finally, click on the root and regenerate the body as box type. Scale the box to match the body shape. You don't need to be super precise with this. Alright, that's it with the physics asset. Next step, let's set up the blueprint. Let's create a blueprints folder, then create a blueprint class inside it. From all classes, search for wheeled vehicle pawn. Let's name it BP Sport Bike. Change the source of skeletal mesh to the sport bike. Okay, we can drag the pawn to the scene. I'm gonna place it a little above the ground because the impact motion is going to give us lots of information about how the vehicle is working. Right now, we're gonna work on physics of the vehicle. In order to test it, we don't need to run the game. We can simulate it right here in the editor, which is way faster. If we click on simulate, nothing is going to happen, because first we need to enable simulate physics on the mesh. After that, if we simulate it, this is going to happen. So here is how we're gonna do this. I'll point out what's broken, we fix it, and then move on to the next thing. We'll keep going like that until the whole bike feels right. So you can see the wheels are broken right now. That's because we haven't set up the wheels yet. So let's get back to the blueprint, select vehicle movement component, and search for wheel setup. Let's add 2 wheels. We need to pass the bone name for each wheel to tell the chaos vehicle where the wheels are and where they should be simulated. If you look at the bone hierarchy, we have physics wheel F and physics wheel R, which we added physic bodies for them. So let's put in the names. Next, this default wheel class is not going to work for us. We need to create our custom wheels. So create a blueprint class. In all classes, search for chaos vehicle wheel. We want one for front and one for back. Set the wheel class for each wheel. After that, let's set up the front wheel. Axle type is front. For wheel radius, we can go to physics asset, select the wheel, find the sphere primitive, and copy the radius from here. Wheel width is almost correct, and I'm not gonna touch it. Wheel mass is in kilograms, and the front wheel is a little smaller and also lighter than the back wheel. Put 12 kilograms here. Check affected by brake and affected by steering. Very good. It's rear wheel's turn. Axle type is rear. Copy the radius from primitive shape. Wheel mass is 14 kilograms. Rear wheel is affected by engine and brake. Very good. Let's test the wheels. Chaos has detected the wheels successfully. Now the next issue is, obviously, bike is falling to the side. This issue is caused by center of mass. I'm gonna put 2 commands in the console to show you what is exactly happening. Enable the debug draw for chaos vehicle using this command. Then show center of mass. You can see where center of mass is currently located, that is causing the bike to fall. We need to lower the center of mass almost to the ground, maybe even lower, to keep the bike from falling. Let's get back to blueprint, select vehicle movement component, and search for center of mass. Enable the override. This is going to lower the center of mass to the ground, but I'm gonna lower it a little bit more by putting -5 in the z-axis. Let's see the result. Perfect. Although we had set up the wheels, they are going through the ground. That's because there is no animation blueprint to position the wheels according to the simulation. Let's create an animation folder, then create an animation blueprint. Choose the Sportbike skeleton. Let's name it ABP Sportbike. Okay, now parent class of this animation blueprint is now anim instance. We need to use the class for chaos vehicle system. So from class settings, change parent class to vehicle animation instance. Alright, let's set up the nodes, add a mesh space ref pose, then add wheel controller. This is going to animate the wheels, then connect it to output pose. From Sportbike blueprint, assign the animation blueprint to anim class. Let's see the result. You can see we have a little bit of suspension working, and also the rear wheel is properly on the ground, but not the front wheel. Why? Because physics wheel R, which the wheel is bounded to, is being simulated by chaos vehicle, but front wheel mesh is bounded to wheel F, not physics wheel F. So the front wheel going through the ground is expected for now. Alright, for the next step, let's make it drivable. Create an input folder and create 3 input actions for steer, throttle, and brake. The value type for all 3 is 1D axis. Then we create an input mapping context, add the input actions we created to the mapping. I'm gonna assign W for throttle, S for brake, A and D for steering. We only need to add a negate modifier for A key in order to have a range of -1 to 1, because that is what the steering input is expecting. Now, in order to use this input mapping context, we need to set up a player controller and game mode. Let's create a player controller, open it up, and in begin play event, make sure to uncheck context sensitive and search for add mapping context. Choose the mapping context that we have created, and the target is going to be enhanced input local player subsystem. Then let's create the game mode real quick. Open it up, and we only need to change the player controller to the one we created and default pawn class to BP Sportbike. Let's get back to the scene. From world settings, override the game mode and choose Sportbike game mode. We also need to set up a camera for the vehicle. Add a spring arm, then add a camera inside it. Position the camera the way you want. Next, we need to implement the logic for moving the vehicle. Just add the enhanced input event, drag the vehicle movement component to the graph. For steering, we use set steering input. You need to connect triggered and completed to the execution pin. So when you release the key, the value returns to 0. This is the same for throttle and brake. Lastly, we need to configure the torque curve. In vehicle movement component, search for torque, add 1 key to the torque curve, set it to 0 and 1. This is just for testing, and the real torque curve does not look like this. Now, if we run the game, we would be able to ride the bike. You would instantly notice that there are some issues. There is a huge wobbling when the motorcycle is moving. It's not stable at all. So let's go and make it stable. Let's get back to the vehicle blueprint. On the movement component, you need to look for arcade control. First, you need to know what arcade control does to chaos vehicle movement. It applies artificial rotation forces directly to the vehicle's body, and it bypasses the wheel physics simulation. This makes it a layer on top of the physically simulated behavior. This is mostly used for airborne vehicles, which the player needs to control the pitch, yaw, and the roll, while the wheels aren't touching the ground. Enable the torque control and set rotation damping to a higher value, like 15. The rotation damping is going to kill the wobbles. You can see how steady the bike is now. Okay, let's move on to the next step and set up realistic steering for the sport bike. We want to turn the front end bone chain when we steer. In order to do this, we are going to convert the steering input to a range of rotation. Let's open up Animation Blueprint. Inside Event Graph, I'm gonna save a reference to animation owner, which is BP Sportbike, on Animation Initialize event. If cast to BP Sportbike is successful, promote it to a variable. Now in Update Animation event, let's say if the Sportbike is valid, get the steering input from it. Next, use a map range. I'm gonna tell the input range is -1 to 1, which comes from steering input, and I want -15 degrees to 15 degrees. Alright, we're gonna keep this value inside a variable. Let's name it steering angle and set the output of map range to it. Okay, we're gonna use this variable inside AnimGraph. And we need a control rig to connect the front bone chain correctly to each other. Let's create a control rig. Name it CR Sportbike. Now inside AnimGraph, let's add a control rig node at the end. Then set CR Sportbike as asset reference. Very good. Time to set up the control rig. Right now, no skeleton is bound to this control rig. From Bone Hierarchy tab, select Import Hierarchy and choose the skeleton. Very good. The goal is, we are going to rotate the steering handle bone using the steering angle that we calculated inside Animation Blueprint. Then we're gonna tell the suspension F and wheel F to follow the rotation of a steering handle. First, we need to keep the resting rotation of the steering handle. One thing to know here, the bone rotation is stored internally as a quaternion, not as angles. Quaternions are much better for animation and interpolation. Since it's not human-friendly, we pass the rotation through to Euler node that converts it into standard XYZ angles, so we can easily read the bone's default rotation. In Graph Explorer tab, let's add a new variable. Name it Initial Steering Handle Rotation. Now let's get the transform for steering handle. Check the initial box to make sure this is the transform imported from the FBX file. Now connect the rotation to an Euler node, change the rotation order to XYZ, and connect it to a print node. Now this is the actual rotation which is being printed in the viewport. Let's put those numbers in the initial steering handle rotation. Very good. We don't need these nodes anymore. Let's delete them. Since we only need to rotate the steering handle along its z-axis, x and y are going to stay the same. So now we make a variable and name it steering angle. We have calculated this in Animation Blueprint. Click on this eye icon to make it public, so we can see it outside the control rig. We are going to add this variable to the z-axis of the initial rotation. So x and y are the same, and we use from Euler node to convert it again to a quaternion. Because the control rig is working with the quaternion, make sure the rotation order is XYZ. Now set the output to the rotation of the steering handle. I'm gonna also add a sequence node at the start because we have multiple calculations to do. Alright, let's pass the steering angle from Animation Blueprint to the control rig. Expose the pin from here and connect the steering angle. I'm gonna also rename this one to steering angle. Now if you test the game, the turning is going to be instant. We can add interpolation to this by adding an finterp2 node. The target is going to be the output of map range, and current is steering angle. You need a delta time for this, which is present in animation update event. Set the speed to 2. We now have interpolation while turning the steering handle. Let's move on and complete the chain. I'm gonna use a parent constraint. You're basically picking a parent and a child is going to follow all the movements and rotations of the parent. Here, I want to say suspension F should follow a steering handle, and also wheel F should follow suspension F. The output will look like this. The most important thing which is missing in this chain is physics wheel F. All the physics simulation and suspension is being applied to physics wheel F. So our chain, suspension and wheel should follow physics wheel F to have a realistic movement in the front end. I'm gonna put this command in the console to enable drawing the physics shape. Right now in the simulation, you can see the physics wheel F is completely separate from the wheel and suspension. I want the physics wheel to follow suspension F, except its z-axis. Why? Because all the simulation and suspension is being applied to the z-axis of the physics wheel. So we don't want to override that. Next, we attach wheel to the physic wheel. You can see we are getting closer to a real suspension. I will uncheck X translation here because when the front fork compresses, lower legs should go through the tube. We need to calculate the X offset to simulate that motion, to seem like the compression is happening in an angle. This would be more clear after this step. We need to attach suspension to the wheel. Now it's obvious what the problem is with the fork, so we need to calculate the X offset. We're gonna use an offset transform node by subtracting the current X translation on the physic wheel from the initial translation. We can get the suspension travel amount. Let's create a variable and name it physic wheel FZ translation, connected to B on the subtract node. Now we multiply the travel amount by tan with this input. Alright, what is this? The front fork is mounted at a 22-degree angle. So the lower fork shouldn't move straight up and down. Instead, it needs to slide along the fork's axis. To calculate the required horizontal movement, we multiply the suspension travel by the tangent of the fork angle. This converts the vertical compression into the correct X offset. Finally, we multiply it by -1 because our fork points in the negative X direction. Let's print out the initial Z translation for the physic wheel and put the number in phys wheel F Z translation. Now, because the execution of these nodes are linear, after calculating the X offset, again we need to tell the suspension to follow the wheel movement. But this time it has an X offset. Alright, until now we have this. The only thing remaining, we need to spin the front wheel. We need to pass the wheel angle from outside the control rig. So let's create a variable and name it front wheel rotation angle. Make it public. We offset wheel F-bone in the y-axis. Let's get back to vehicle blueprint. Here we cast the vehicle movement component to chaos wheeled vehicle movement component. From here we can get the array of the wheels. The first index is our front wheel. Now we call get rotation angle. Rotation angle can change in each frame, so we need to execute this in the tick event. Let's keep it inside a variable. Inside animation blueprint, let's add a sequence node, get front wheel rotation from the vehicle. At the end we pass it to the control rig. If the spinning is in the wrong direction, multiply it by -1. Alright, the front end of the sport bike is complete. The back suspension is very easy. This is what we have right now. Just parent the suspension R to physic wheel R, and that's it. Alright, we have an acceptable sport bike right now, but it requires lots of tuning for engine, suspension, and the tires. I'm gonna cover the tuning section in the next part. If this was useful to you, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next part.